Welcome to another episode of SVB Live. My name is Kelly Wayne. I am your host and Director of Sales here at Seniors Blue Book. I am excited to be here today. My guest is Lauren Pulsifer from Irresistible Hearing Center in Venice. Together, we're going to chat. You're going to learn a little bit about her and her business, and I'm really excited for you to share, Lauren. But before we begin, I always ask when you are watching live, please let us know where you are watching from. Just type your city in the chat. You can even say hello or even give us a thumbs up if you like the content. Also, if you have questions or comments while we are chatting, go ahead and put them in the chat and we'll make sure that we do answer all questions. So thanks for joining us. Okay, Lauren, I want to get going here. Before we talk about your business, I always think it's important to ask the folks that we interview to tell us a little bit about why they got into the business they're in. Everyone seems to have a why. I'm sure you do have one as well. So go ahead and share with our audience viewing why you do what you do.
Well, Kelly, hi. I just want to thank you for having me on. This is so exciting. I'm on TV. My why, I'm actually one of the lucky ones. I got into the hearing industry right out of college, and I stuck with it. It's been 10 years now. Growing up, my grandfather had a really bad hearing loss. And, it was always just like, why is grandpa in group situations? Why does he kind of like go back a little bit? He's not as engaged as he normally would be in a one-on-one situation. And that's why I had a very good friend in college. Her dad, Ray Wink, was a pretty big wig with a huge corporation, manufactures Starkey. It's the largest brand of hearing aids out there. And he gave me the opportunity right out of school, trained me right out of Florida State. And 10 years later, here I am. And I'm grateful for the opportunity he gave me. I'm very lucky that I found the industry when I did.
Good. And you have a personal reason for wanting to help people because
right.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
I love that. I meet all these patients and some of them remind me of my grandmother.
Oh.
They look like my grandparents, so it's nice.
Yeah, well, that's nice, and I'm sure you make a great connection with them. Just your interactions with them.
Yeah, I genuinely like most of the people that come in.
Yeah. Oh, that's good to know. So tell us a little bit about the business itself. I'm sure people, they know obviously hearing, but there's probably a lot that people don't know. And I want to focus on what are the key nuggets that people need to know about your business specifically.
So the biggest thing when going through the process of getting a hearing aid, the hardest thing is making that step to walk through the front door. Just making the decision, I'm going to go get a hearing test. I'm going to go see what is going on, even if nothing is going on.
Sure.
When you do come for a hearing test, it's not a hard sell. I just let you know what is happening to your hearing, kind of why things are the way that they are. And if you can be helped with a set of hearing aids, we go through that process. It's not just put them in your ears and then call me if you need me. Mm-hmm. I do keep close tabs on all of my patients forever. Every time you leave my office, you have an appointment to come back, whether it's a week from now or 6 months from now. Mm-hmm. That I think is the most important part of the process, is just knowing who you're going to see and how often you're going to see them.
Okay. Now, when people come into your office and they're getting tested for the first time, do you find that they've procrastinated maybe longer than they should have because they didn't think they needed it? And would you encourage people to maybe come sooner? And what does that look like?
So industry average, they've done studies on this, from the time somebody has started noticing, hey, my hearing is a little off, the first time they come in for a test is typically 7 years. Wow. So when I do my speeches at community events and what have you, I really hammer the importance of just coming in for a baseline hearing test. The best time to get your hearing tested is when you're hearing perfectly fine. Just to see where you were at a point in time, and you can just kind of see the changes over the years or not. Some people's hearing doesn't change at all, and I've had 99-year-olds come in and say, I hear like a kid, and I'm thinking, okay, we have denial, then we test them, and I was like, wow, you do hear like a kid.
Yeah.
So it would get a baseline hearing test. It takes a half hour.
Now, when you say that they need to come in and have that tested, get their test regularly, how frequently does a person or should a person come in to be tested?
We say once a year.
Okay.
You get your eyes checked, blood pressure, go to the dentist. People neglect the ears. So once a year, a baseline hearing test.
Excellent. Okay.
Thanks.
Now, this is easy enough for someone to do, correct? They can, you just call and make an appointment. Is it, explain to
Yeah.
people what that first step looks like for them.
So just to call the office. I'm on East Venice Avenue, 1076 East Venice Avenue. You just give the office a call and you'll either speak to Kathy or Tanya and they can get you scheduled. The hearing test is complimentary. If you have a hearing loss, the testing process can take an hour to 45 minutes. But if you have completely normal hearing and it's a simple baseline, it's about a half-hour process from the time you enter my office to the time you leave.
So really, there's no reason then, if I'm understanding it, there's no reason why you wouldn't want to do it, because it's not costing them anything just to check and see. And if they by chance do have something wrong, they wouldn't know it if they weren't tested. So it's being proactive, just like every other part of your body, you're being proactive with your hearing.
Exactly. It's important. And I like to use the example in my talks is, say, God forbid you did get into a car accident or something. And after that accident, your hearing has changed. You can't prove that if you don't have a baseline hearing test on file.
Yeah.
So it's just really important to just see where you are at a certain point in time.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. So everybody that's watching, if you haven't paid attention to your ears and your hearing, you need to, just like you would going to the dentist or, getting your eyes checked. Your ears are just as important. So I encourage you to reach out to Lauren and set up a free visit with her and see, how you're doing. But for those of you who are looking to find specifically contact information for Lauren, you can find it in the Seniors Blue Book. If you don't have one, this is what it looks like. You can find it at over 1,700 areas here in the Sarasota, Manatee, and Charlotte counties, whether it's at your doctor's office, the libraries, you can even find them in Walgreens. So lots of different places, churches, senior centers. So go ahead and get a copy of this. And again, you want to turn to page 67. That's where you can find Lauren and all of her information. And thank you, Lauren. I appreciate your time today. I hope that folks will take it seriously and come to see you. And I encourage all of you watching to do that.
Thank you so much for having me.